There's no doubt that Javier Milei is one of the most controversial political figures in the world today. To his opponents, Milei is like the devil, representing ruthless liberalism and those who only care about their own pocket. If you ask his critics, they will say that Javier Milei is driving Argentina to disaster. But why is Milei so disastrous? Well, for instance, since Milei took office in the end of 2023, here, unemployment has only risen, as we can see here in this chart. And the same goes for inflation, which has skyrocketed since December 2023, since Milei took office, to an astonishing 292% annual rate. But is Milei really a failure, or are they telling you only half the story? That's what we'll discuss today. First, we'll go through the 3 most important policies that Milei has implemented so far, and then I will show you 6 signs that the Argentine economy is, in fact, starting to recover. And in the end, I will also share with you an idea on how to make money with Argentina's comeback and the likely real estate boom we are going to see there. Now, let's jump to our subject. Though Milei has been in office for less than 1 year, much has already been done. And here are the 3 main measures that Milei has been implementing that are completely transforming Argentina. First, reduction of public spending and primary surplus. Since Milei took office, we've seen a major reduction in government spending. Finally, after 12 years, Argentina was able to deliver its first monthly budget surplus. And he achieved this, for example, by suspending almost all public works projects. He also reduced the number of ministries too, from 18 to only 9.
Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera.
Additionally, Milei has laid off dozens of thousands of public employees, around 70,000 to be more precise. And understanding these cuts is crucial for us to grasp the GDP decline we've seen since the beginning of Milei's administration, as I'm showing you here. All subsidies, transportation, gas, fuel, and energy were also eliminated, further reducing expenses. This is one of the main reasons why inflation increased since Milei took office, because without the subsidies, the real prices emerged. For instance, in December 2023, an average family in Buenos Aires would have paid around 30,000 pesos for utilities. After Milei, though, this cost rose to 140,000 pesos. Again, without the subsidies, the real prices emerged. On the other hand, as we can see here in this chart, inflation has been slowing down, having closed September at only 3.5%, which is a very big victory. The second major change Milei is pushing is the dollarization of Argentina's economy. Although he has not yet eliminated the central bank as promised, Argentina is already moving towards dollarization. For instance, people now can sign contracts in any currency they choose, including Bitcoin, meaning you can, for example, arrange to pay your rent in euros or dollars instead of pesos. And finally, the third most important change Milei is bringing to Argentina is related to the deregulation and liberalization of the economy. Milei's efforts here have been crucial. He has worked to liberalize the labor market, to ease hiring, and also lifted price and import controls. For example, a law introduced in 2020 established that rent prices could only be adjusted every 12 months, and leases had to last at least 3 years. As a result, finding a new apartment became nearly impossible for many locals. Now, with the suspension of these controls, Buenos Aires has seen a huge increase in available rental units, with rental prices falling. So these were Milei's 3 most important measures so far. Now let's look at 6 signs of how these actions are already greatly improving the economy of Argentina, so we can then talk about how to profit there. So the first sign that Argentina is indeed recovering is that the country has finally delivered its first primary surplus in more than a decade. As we can see here in this chart, Argentina's primary fiscal balance continues to improve, which means that the country is not spending more than it earns anymore, which is a very good sign. Actually, even considering interest payments, we see that Argentina continues to deliver a positive result. Thus, the expectation for this year, for 2024, is a primary surplus, but still a financial deficit of 0.9% of GDP, which is still a huge improvement, an unbelievable improvement when compared to the previous years, as we can see here. On the other hand, in 2025, we should see a zero deficit, so great improvements here. Secondly, as a result of the government spending less, Argentina's country risk has dropped to its lowest level in 5 years. After all, if the government is being more responsible with its finances, lending money to Argentina becomes less risky, right? If they are financially better off, it's much more likely that they will pay you back if you lend them money, right? And this takes us to the third sign of Argentina's recovery, which is falling interest rates. As we can see here, interest rates in Argentina have fallen a lot, from 126% in December 2023 to the current 35%. This is a huge victory. So as Argentina becomes less risky, interest rates can decrease. In turn, with lower interest rates, borrowing becomes cheaper, which in the long run accelerates the economy, creates jobs and raises wages. Now, the fourth sign that Argentina is already improving is that we are already seeing inflation going down. Yes, you heard that right. Despite interest rates going down, we are seeing inflation going down as well. As I've already showed you, inflation closed September at only 3.5%. This is a very interesting chart because it shows the main concerns of the people. Inflation, which is the blue line, has been by far the people's main concern for a very long time. Actually, since 2016. Now look at what just happened here. This huge drop. As people feel that the inflation problem is being fixed, it stopped being their main concern. So our next sign of Argentina's recovery is the surge in dollar inflows. Since Milei took office, there's been a huge increase in dollars returning to Argentina, quickly surpassing the entire Macri era. And the main driver here was Milei's tax amnesty program. Many Argentinians had been keeping their dollars abroad undeclared due to heavy taxes and bureaucracy. Now, thanks to Milei's amnesty, they can bring back up to $100,000 tax-free. Amounts above that are taxed at 5%. And that's why we are seeing such a large flow of dollars returning to Argentina, reflecting a growing confidence in the country. So, in summary, we've seen that Argentina's country risk is falling along with inflation and interest rates. We've also seen that confidence in Argentina is rising and that the economy is becoming more open. Given these factors, it's natural to see other economic indicators improving too. So, our next sign of improvement in Argentina is the recovery of credit and several other indicators. But for example, we are seeing a huge improvement in consumer loans, which is this dark blue bar here. Since March, we can see that things are really getting better here. Business loans and mortgage loans are also on the rise, as we can see here. And keep this in mind because it will be important for us when we start discussing today's investment idea at the end of this video. In addition to the improvement in credit, several other indicators are already showing progress too. For example, real wages that finally seem to be starting to improve. Besides, industrial production is also starting to show signs of recovery, as is overall economic activity. Additionally, the construction sector too seems to be improving. Thus, with these changes, even though we are probably going to see a decline in GDP this year, expectations are for a strong GDP growth in 2025. And finally, it's for these reasons that, despite making such radical and unpopular changes, Milei's approval rating continues extremely high, as we can see here. So now that we've covered all this, let's talk about my investment idea in Argentina. And as always, nothing in this video is investment advice, okay? My idea is to invest in the Argentine stock market, in one of the companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And the company I'm thinking of is Argentina's largest cement producer. And why should I invest in cement? Well, because if the fiscal deficit is being cut to the core, this means that inflation will keep falling together with interest rates. And with lower and more stable rates, more mortgage loans are granted, leading to more home construction. So it seems to me that a real estate boom may just be a matter of time in Argentina. That's why I'm looking at this cement company, because you need cement to build houses, right? And half of Argentina's population is currently living in poverty. Eventually, when these people start to rise out of poverty, which I believe will happen with Milei's new policies, do you think they are not going to want new and better homes? So that's why I'm thinking about investing in this stock. Now, before I reveal the name of this company, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your like, and I also invite you to subscribe. Anyway, my investment idea is called Loma Negra, ticker LOMA. Loma Negra is a $1 billion market cap company, so we are talking here about a small cap company. Loma Negra is more than 100 years old, having survived already to a lot of things in Argentina, and the company holds more than 40% of the entire Argentine cement market. So far, I'm only studying this company, but I think it's a very interesting investment thesis. Anyway, they are certainly on my radar, on my watch list. If you want a more detailed analysis of this company, please let me know down in the comments. And well, that's it for today. See you next time.